What is up, Misfits and Moonbasers? It's your boy Ray Recall coming at you again with another video review. And today we're going to be looking at something we haven't looked at in quite some time. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead right on into it. So today we're going to be looking at the NECA Aliens Kenner tribute Rhino Alien. That is right, ladies and germs. This is the Kenner tribute, or the tribute to the Kenner brand, crazy Alien vs. Predator stuff. And this is the Rhino Alien. And don't let this image on the box fool you. The real thing takes up the whole freaking space. So real quick, before we actually get them out of the package, let's take a look at the box, because it actually is a pretty neat box. Love that design. Kind of makes it look like the old toy from the 90s, 80s, 90s? I don't know. Some nice artwork on the sides, on the top, bottom, just product description. On the back, you get that nice 90s referential style background. You get to see the classic series of the Berserker, Predator, and Neomorph. You get the Kenner Aliens lineup that NECA did with the Mantis, the Gorilla. I need to get a Gorilla Alien. I need to get a Gorilla. The Snake, Scorpion, Space Marine, Apone, and then the Predators, that they have the options for those as well. I really wanted to get a Stalker Predator, but oh well, maybe one day. Anyway, and then as for the box itself, it does have a neat little display feature where you open it up, and yeah, like I said, he takes up the entire package. He, she, whatever you want to call it. There you go. And yeah, so let's go ahead and open up the box and see what's inside. And there we go. Here is the Rhino Alien out of the packaging, and oh my goodness, it is so beautiful. Real quick, one thing that is included in the box is one of the Dark Horse comics. That basically, let me see if I can flip to the pages here. But it does prominently feature the Rhino Alien and the story behind it. So, like, a bunch of Xenos got on this Rhino planet, this is one planet that was being terraformed, and the aliens had been using rhinos as biostock. So this is what happens whenever a facehugger does its thing with the rhinoceros, apparently. So, just looking at it right here, this is how this is it in its kind of, I guess, charging mode or whatever, where it's coming at you full speed ahead, and it looks real nice. It looks real nice. They really captured the essence of that old Kenner figure from back in the day. Let me see if I can get this knee joint to bend a little bit better. There we go. Yeah, and as you can see, I don't know if you can tell, but there's actually a little groove right here in the sculpt where the thigh will go into. So, joints are very tight on this guy, but one moment. There we go. Sorry about that. I mean, the joints have a double knee bend, and that lower knee bend is very, very stiff, but that's a good thing. That's a good thing. It just means it's going to be able to hold poses a lot better. So, but yeah, this is the Rhino in his charging form, and it's really nice. He's got kind of hoof-like back feet. Front feet are designed so that they can extend outward and be flat, very hoof-like, thumb and pinky. Very short tail. Doesn't have the long bendy wire tail. It's just like the little part of the sculpting. And then that head sculpt is just immaculate. Look at that. Look at that face. Look at that grumpy face. Now, a cool thing about this is that he does have a action feature or whatever. If I'm not mistaken, I believe the original Kenner action figure actually had like a pop-off head or something like that. I'm probably wrong on that, but what they went ahead and did here is they, kind of like how they did with the Gorilla Alien, the entire upper dome is removable if you want that effect. Now, this doesn't actually clip in or anything like that. It just has like a little hole that this back horn goes into, so you just basically kind of take it and lift it off. Easy peasy. Very smooth underneath, and some nice molded in detail as well on the top, with a kind of like dark airbrushing gradient where it's darker up front and it just kind of tapers out back. Very nicely done. It's even got some sculpted in ridges and scuffs and stuff like that. It's been smashing its head into things probably. And then taking a look at the head proper, this is just gorgeous. The entire body is made up of this translucent orange plastic. Anything that's black has actually been painted over, I think, except for maybe the mouth. But it is this really, it gives this really nice glowing light piped effect to it. And like, it's coming off a little bit brighter on my camera, but instead of it being like yellowish, it's a much more deep orange, but it's still very, very bright and vibrant. It looks great in hand. And then of course, if you want, you can always put the little cap back on, just like so, and it just nestles into place. It's not on there perfect. Oh, never mind. I guess it does fit on there pretty securely. Who would have known? But yeah, that just looks amazing. And just for a size comparison, here is Marvel Legends She-Hulk. I can get her in there. Get in there. There we go. Riding on a xenomorph. Doesn't really work out as well as I was expecting, but then again, She-Hulk is an actually pretty decently sized Marvel Legends figure. But yeah, go ahead and get her out of there. Yeah. Now, one thing I haven't done is talked about articulation yet, and that's because unlike the Kenner figure, which had fixed joints in the arms and the legs, this thing is loaded with points of articulation. So many so, in fact, that if you extend out the limbs, it gets very, very tall. Yeah. So, yeah, this figure is huge compared to most aliens that I own. Just the sheer weight of it alone trumps the size of, I think everyone except maybe the Chrysalis alien, I believe. That one has a, this is the only one that comes close to being that chunky. Also, I'm not sure if I was able to show this off before, but the mouth can open that much. If you get your fingernail in there, it does have the proboscis, so that is pretty cool. But yeah, this thing is just massive. Articulation on it. It does have a rotation at the top as well as a hinge right there. You can do forward and back. The jaw obviously can open and close. Arms can do a full 360. They can only go out about that much because of the sculpt. There is a under elbow rotation, a double jointed elbow. Wrist rotation. The fingers are hinged at the base. They can curl in about that much. Standard double ball joint for the torso section. Interestingly enough, this abdominal region is coated in a very rubberized plastic, so it's nice and squishy and stuff like that. So it's really good for like it's firm, but at the same time when you touch it, it's kind of got a squishiness to it. So that's pretty interesting. Hips can go forward about that much, back about that much. Not really much in and out. Knees can articulate. It's got double jointed knees as well as a rotation at the top. Nothing at this joint. This is all fused. And then the bottom foot does have a bit of an ankle tilt and then a hinge forward and back. So you can get a lot of posability out of this figure. I will say it is quite top heavy. So if you have a figure stand with an arm that can help support it, that would definitely help. It does have holes at the base of its feet for a NECA figure stand if you have one that has the little peg at the bottom. But if you want to just stand it up, unless you have it on a very flat surface, you'll definitely want to have something that can hold the weight with like a support arm or something like that, because this guy is top heavy. So. Anyway, for comparison, here he is once again with Marvel Legends She-Hulk. Like so. Here he is with Siege Leader. Whoop.
Come on, man. Put it together. We're trying to run a show here.
Anyway, here he is with Siege Leader Shockwave. And of course, why not? Here he is with the Emissary 2 Predator. And as you can see, the Emissary 2 Predator comes up pretty much to the shoulder length. And once again, these legs are bent in order to keep the weight from wobbling around. So, yeah. Quite an impressive sized Xeno specimen, if I do say so myself. And I do say so. And I am by myself in my room recording this for all of you. So, there you have that. So that'll about do it for the Rhino Alien review. This figure is really, really nice in terms of the sculpting, in terms of the articulation. It's really, really nice. Personal caveat I found about it, though, is that because it is so heavy, it is kind of difficult to pose, despite the fact that it has a whole lot of joints. Also, there are some issues where, because of the sculpting, it does limit some articulation, specifically in the rotation at where the legs meet the hips, as well as the shoulders. So just keep that in mind if you're wanting to have this in some crazy poses. You are going to have to work within the sculpt, kind of. The easiest way, and I've seen them done where you can pose these up all kinds of crazy ways. I've seen images online, and if you have a figure stand that has a support functionality, excuse me, like if you can support, or like it has like a little clear arm or something like that, that'll help hold up some of the weight. That'll help tremendously. Also, one thing to note, because it has that vibrant orange, I'm guessing that if you put this under a black light, it'll just glow all kinds of trippy colors. So I want to put that to the test at some point, but it's not required for it to be an awesome figure. Yeah, so that about does it. So I picked this up at my local retailer. I've seen these specifically only at Walmart so far. However, you can always go on to online retailers or any licensed NECA dealer such as Misfit Toys. definitely, if you have the option to get this, even if you haven't owned any other NECA aliens yet, definitely get the Rhino Xenomorph, the Rhino alien. It would, it is a standout even amongst its own peers. So yeah. Anyway, that's about enough for that. So thank you all so much for watching. I've been Ray Recall. Y'all have been awesome, and I will see y'all in the next review. Peace.